Hello friends, I am Allie and it is that time again. Hard to believe that July is almost over. I don't even know where the time's going this year. It's just crazy. I am doing my wrap up today and I'm filming this a few days early. So I don't yet know how this week is going to end as far as the books that I'm trying to finish. If you've been around for a little while, you know what I'm talking about. So the first book that I finished in the month of July was The Magic Misfits, the second story. And I gave this 5 stars. I thought that it was fantastic. I flew through it. I read it really fast. This one follows Layla's perspective, and it was just really, really fun. I really loved that it talked about secret passageways and hidden messages, and it almost had like that kind of Indiana Jones vibe where they go kind of hunting for the secret passageways and stuff. And then it's just, these books are so magical. I just absolutely love them. But yeah, this was really, really good. The second book that I finished in July was A Night to Surrender by Tessa Dare, and I gave that one 3 stars. It was good. It was okay. It followed a woman who was a governess to young girls, and the cove that they live in, Spindle Cove, I believe was the name of it, is like mostly females and there's not a lot of male influence. Then some military men come in and the plot got kind of steamy, and I'm sure that you can assume where it goes. I enjoyed it. I thought that it was really cute. I didn't enjoy it as much as the one that I read last month, but it was still good, and I am going to read the second one for sure. The next book I finished in July was The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Abby Waxman. I adored this book. I gave it 5 stars. I totally relate to Nina. I think that she's an awesome character. Definitely relatable if you are a book nerd. She just wanted to read books. That's what she wanted to do. She wanted to read books, and she wanted to mostly be left alone. And her life takes a turn that steers her away from that, and it causes her to grow as a person. And I thought the character development was fantastic. I thought that the romance was really sweet, and I thought that the family relationship that happened, that built in the book, was so good. I loved all of it. I thought that it was really, really well done. I read a short story called The Bookish Holidays of Nina Hill, and it was just like a little 40 pages, I think, short story about a Christmas shenanigan that Nina goes through at the bookstore, and you can find it online completely for free. I don't think that it's been published in any way. The author has just put it out there for people to read. So if you've read that book and you really like it, then you might go check that out. I found it and downloaded it to my phone and read it in an afternoon. The next book I read was also a short story. I think it was around 60 pages. It's called Field's Gate by Erin Lynch, and I got it on Amazon Kindle for $1.99, I believe. I think that's the only way that you can find it, is on Kindle. But it was very interesting. I gave it 4 stars. I thought that it was creepy. It was really creepy. It had like creepy Alice in Wonderland vibes to it. The way that it was written honestly felt like it was a translation that was poorly done. I think maybe it was poorly edited. I don't know what happened, but if you can get past grammatical errors, the feeling of the story is creepy, and it was really absorbing because you just want to know what happens next and like who the girl is going to run into in this weird place that she's in. So anyway, I don't want to give anything away about the story, so I can't really tell you much more than that, but if you like that kind of atmosphere, then I would recommend checking it out, as long as you can get past a lot of grammatical errors. I did have to reread some passages a couple times just to make sure that I understood what was trying to be said, so just go into it with that knowledge. Next I read Art Matters by Neil Gaiman, and it is illustrated by Chris either Rydell or Riddle. I'm not really certain how to pronounce his last name. This is actually a book of Neil Gaiman's speeches. They're supposed to be inspirational and uplifting, and I definitely felt that whenever I read them. I thought that um, the illustrations are also really neat. This is a really short book. It didn't take me long to read this, but if you're in the arts and if you sometimes feel that nagging of, I'm just not good enough, I can't do this, I can't get past this, I recommend reading this because he really says it in a way that is relatable. I gave this 5 stars. I think that Neil Gaiman is just a master with words. My next book was The Seven Deadly Sins, Book 1. I gave this 5 stars. I love these books, and I am excited to continue on with the series. I think there's like 33 books now, and I have like 20-something of them. And I've only read like 10 of them, so I'm really excited to get through these. I'm going to try to read these more frequently because they're so quick, and I'm just really wanting to know what happens next. Because I was watching it on Netflix, and it hasn't put out any more seasons, and I need to know. I need to know what happens. After that, I read Coraline by Neil Gaiman, and I have talked about this a few times in other videos. I gave it 5 stars. I thought that it was super well done. The atmosphere is fantastically built in this book. It is incredibly creepy. It had me feeling very creeped out. And if you have read The Ocean at the End of the Lane, this is almost like a watered down version of that. It's just more leaned toward children. And it helps you to kind of understand as an adult how a child feels whenever the parents aren't listening to them. And so it kind of made me open my eyes and understand, oh hey, this is how a child is viewing this situation. The way that he did the feeling in the beginning of the boredom and the seclusion and feeling lonesome is just, it really hit home for me. I think that this is a wonderful book, and I highly recommend reading this. That concludes all of the books that I have actually finished in the month of July. I also have a couple that I am finishing up this week, and I am just binging them as hard as I can to get through them. The first one is The Library of Legends. I'm more than halfway through with this. I am really enjoying the story. I have talked about it a couple times in my reading vlogs. This story follows a group of students who are having to travel across China while the Japanese are attacking, so they're having to travel like at night and in trains and on barges and just wherever they can get to safety so that they're not affected by the air raids. And it really highlights what they went through. I did read a blurb by the author, and she said that her father went through this, and she had a lot of factual information that she took from first-hand accounts of people going through it and from books talking about what the people went through during this time. So it is a historical fantasy, and I'm loving the fantasy element of it with the gods in their mythology. It's very well written, and I'm excited to see how it ends and what happens, because I honestly have no idea what's going to happen. And finally, I have Elantris, which I am binging hardcore every chance I get. I am reading, and I am about halfway now. I have until the end of the week. I'm going to finish it, guys. I'm going to do it. I'm so excited, and I'm so loving it. It's so good. I'm actually, like, really getting into it, which I liked it before I put it down and stopped reading for no reason. I have no idea why I stopped. Well, I know that I stopped because I got to feeling like a little burnt out on high fantasy, which can happen sometimes. But I'm going to finish this week, and I will do a review for it on my Goodreads if you want to go check that out. So this concludes all of the books that I have read and still reading in July. Wish me luck on Elantris. I'm going to do it, guys. I'm going to do it. If you've read some of these books and you want to chat about it in the comments, please feel free to. I would love to talk about it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later.